Green Supply Chain Insights, hosted by Finboot's CEO, Juan Miguel Perez.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to what we've decided to call Season 2 of Green Supply Chain Insights. I'm Juan, and I'm thrilled to kick off our second year together. Last month, to celebrate our anniversary, we took things to another level, releasing a more polished format and welcoming my colleague Flavia as a special guest host. If you haven't seen that episode yet, I strongly recommend you go check it out. We are super pleased with the results. For today, while going back to basics a little bit, I promise to keep delivering the same level of practical and timely insights. So let's dive straight into today's hot and fast-moving topic: recent EU regulatory updates that are reshaping how businesses think about and prepare for green supply chain compliance in 2025 and beyond. Let's begin with EUDR and the vote that didn't change the law but did change the temperature. Last week, the European Parliament voted to object the Commission's classification of countries under the EU Deforestation Regulation, EUDR. Specifically, they challenged the benchmarking system that categorizes countries as low, standard, or high risk. Some MEPs want to repeal the existing methodology, introduce a no-risk category, and force the Commission to use updated data and transparent scoring models. The vote passed, but here's the important bit. This vote is non-binding. It does not change the law and it does not change your obligations. The existing benchmark classifications remain in force. The political pressure, however, that just went up a notch. The vote raised a deeper question. Is this about technical improvements to the risk system, or is it the start of a push to delay or weaken the regulation altogether? That's exactly what MEPs Lynn Boylan and Caterina Vieira warned about in an op-ed published the same day of the vote. They argue this isn't just a procedural critique, but part of a pattern to water down EUDR before it even comes into force. Let's not forget the regulation has already been delayed once. Now there's pressure to delay it further or to scale back core enforcement tools like country benchmarking. So what should you do with all of this that's going on? Well, here's the key takeaway. There is no change to the legal timeline. If you're a large company, you still need to be compliant by December 2025. If you're an SME, your deadline is June 2026. This vote does not change that. But it does raise the risk that in 2026, the Commission may come under further pressure to revise the system. Those revisions before the second wave of implementation may mean changes for 2026, but for now, prepare using the current low, standard, and high risk categories. That's what the law still expects from you. And with time running out, your best bet is to ready your processes for the rules as they are today. Now, let's move on to another major legislation, the Green Claims Directive. This is the EU's attempt to combat greenwashing by requiring companies to back up their environmental claims with independent scientific verification. It sounds great in theory, but the legislation hit a snag this summer. In June, the Commission suddenly paused trilogue negotiations. Remember, trilogue negotiations are informal, closed-door meetings in the European legislative process. This is where representatives from the three main institutions of the EU, the Commission, the Parliament, and the Council of the EU, try to reach a common agreement on a proposed piece of legislation. This sudden pause gave room to suggesting the proposal might even be withdrawn. Why? Well, due to concerns over the administrative burdens the directive could imply, especially for small businesses. However, after pushback from both the Parliament and the Council, the Commission clarified that the proposal is not dead, it's just temporarily paused. It's likely to come back with amendments, especially to exempt micro enterprises from compliance. But this delay means the transposition phase, when member states turn the directive into national law, might now stretch into 2026. And that brings us to a bigger problem, which is enforcement of directives in general. Look at what's happened with RED 3, the Renewable Energy Directive, in its third revision. Member states were supposed to transpose it into national law by May 2025. As of today, none have fully done so. Only Romania has fully implemented the renewable fuel provisions, and Czechia has made progress on hydrogen targets, but most countries are still months behind. This shows how even approved directives can get stuck in the final mile of implementation. And it raises a red flag for the Green Claims Directive too. Even if negotiations resume and they pass next year, we could still see delays, we could see loopholes, or we could see watered down enforcement when it gets to the national level. Now, next up, and I would be remiss if I didn't cover this, is the Omnibus Simplification Package. This is the EU's effort to streamline sustainability regulation. The so-called stop the clock provision was already adopted in April, delaying compliance timelines for CSRD, CS3D, and CBAM. Now, the broader omnibus is under negotiation to redefine the rules and the scopes of this legislation. The Parliament will vote on its final position on October 2025. That means further trilogue negotiations could start early in 2026. And so we're unlikely to get full clarity until mid 2026. And considering most of these are directives, member states may not implement those changes until 2027. So there's certainly relief on timelines. However, you should not mistake that for simplicity. These rules are not going away, they're just evolving. And while their final form is yet to be agreed upon, there is plenty of work that you can continue to conduct as you transform your business for the future of non financial reporting and carbon accounting. Last but not least, we have the Danish EU Presidency. Denmark has taken over the Council presidency, and it made clear they intend to put climate back on the agenda. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and her ministers have criticized recent moves to weaken the Green Deal, including delays to pesticide laws, nature restoration, and now the Green Claims Directive. They are pushing to approve 2040 climate targets by September and to keep climate policy aligned with competitiveness and security. That said, their window is short. Cyprus takes over in January 2026, and their agenda is expected to focus more on simplification than climate. So while the next 6 months could be a turning point, we are still likely to feel like we are on a regulatory roller coaster in the near future. Moving on to the end of our episode, here is the final guidance for businesses and stakeholders. Number one, stay focused and stay the course. Despite political noise, the regulatory direction remains clear. If you're preparing for EUDR, RED 3, or Green Claims, don't stop. Two, continue building your systems. Whether it's traceability, due diligence, verification, or disclosures, invest now in tools that will serve you regardless of political shifts. Three, track your progress and engage your network. Monitor developments at the EU and national level, and when you can, make your voice heard. And four, aim higher than compliance. Don't just tick the box. Sustainability is no longer just about avoiding fines. It's about resilience, it's about competitiveness, about risk mitigation, and it's about leadership. So, thank you for turning into this first episode of season 2. As always, if you have any questions, ideas, or if there's any topic you would like me to cover, drop it in the comments or message me directly. And if you're looking for practical tools to help navigate these shifting regulations, you know where to find me. Remember, Green Supply Chain Insights episodes come out every month, followed by a LinkedIn article. You can find all episodes on my LinkedIn profile, on Finboot's YouTube channel, or going to finboot.com/insights. See you next month for another round of insights from the front lines of industrial decarbonization. Take care.